Hello and welcome everyone for the last time this season. We are back with 2S ACC and we are here for the season finale of season 11 at Paul Ricard in France. We've got 19 drivers, 2 of which can still win the title, and that is gonna be the story of the day. We have got our reigning champion Dominic Illinger in P7 and wait, I'm not insane, right? It's Tommy Azelin who's leading the standings right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm asking that to Chris, who is joining me in the booth.
Yes,
Okay.
you are indeed correct. Tommy Azelin is leading with 6 points over Dominic Illinger. Although I think we've gone through the sheets on who places where, who wins the championship, sort of thing. Basically, to make it simple for you, whoever finishes ahead of the other person will win the championship, unless they're both down below P10, but I don't think that's going to be happening today. So it's going to be quite easy to follow, and for sure we've seen in practice that Tommy Azelin has had good pace, and so is Dominic Illinger, so I'm sure these two will battle out right until the end.
Yeah, speaking of easy to follow, the stream currently is not easy to follow. I think it's quite bad. Maybe, but I'm gonna kill the Discord stream for a second and see if that helps. And if it doesn't, then yeah. Because oh god, it says 63% dropped frames over the last 2 minutes. That is not good. Nice.
Yeah. But it's nice to have you back in the commentary booth, Timo, that's for sure.
It was one hell of an exam phase. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Did you get through them okay?
I have no idea. Well, I mean, it was the worst I've had, but it was also the one I did the least for during the semester. So I don't know. It was quite a pain. I'm glad it's over, and I can turn my attention to things like broadcasting pretend races with 2 frames a second. I think this is not working.
Yeah, it's looking a bit choppy on my side.
Yep, okay. Well, and it's not even because I had 2 streams up. That's amazing. Okay, so how do we do this? Do I just stop mine, or what do we do?
No, wait, so I'm gonna quickly... I do apologize everyone for this little bit of an intermission, but we will get it working very quickly before it's even over.
Yeah.
Alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the stream, and then it's going to automatically swap over eventually to my stream. But you have to stop yours after I push mine for a little while.
Okay. Yeah, so that should get us into the transition.
Yes.
Just tell me when you need me to do anything.
Yeah. But for now I can tell you that Dominic Illinger is leading the qualifying session with a 2 minute 3 seconds, and we have Sam Chumley following 6/10 behind, and then we have Tommy Azelin in P3 also 6/10 behind. It is wet qualifying ever, so it's hard to judge the pace of the first few laps, but it's gonna get even wetter according to the track weather, but even an hour it's gonna be dry again, so qualifying will be wet, but in the race it could be dry, and that could also change up the way the drivers are racing.
Yeah, of course I hope that it is going to be dry, though this season we did have a really good rain race in Hungary, I think. So, shouldn't rule out that we could have a rainy banger race for the end of the season. But this pace difference right now is looking quite concerning. When I saw that this championship fight is still on, I was kind of thinking this is just gonna be down to whether Dom's a bottle drop in the final round or not, but maybe Azelin can bring his A game and challenge it on pace when he knows that it's literally for the title. Right now qualifying doesn't look like it, though of course rain driving in only 8 minutes of it, maybe not the best indication, so we shouldn't call it a day early. There's the entire race to come, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We have quite a lot of entertainment ahead of us, and Paul Ricard, if anything to go off in the previous times it's been the race at 2S. It's been very entertaining until the very end. Highlight for me stands out for season 3 of Paul Ricard, where it was a 3-way battle for the lead, and it all unfolded on the last lap with pure entertainment. So I hope something similar will happen, maybe not as much crashing, but definitely something to look forward to. We also, last time we raced the Paul Ricard, it was wet, and we had Antoine Olive deciding to do an aerial halfway down the straight after coming into contact with another Bentley driver. I can't remember. Salmonen, that's the one. And hopefully that's not going to happen yet again today. But while we're talking, Tommy Aslan up to P2, and I think my stream is now taking over as well.
Are you sure about that?
I believe so.
Can you check? Because for me it's still showing. Okay. Okay. Good. So I can stop mine.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, can you? Oh, you already are. Wonderful.
Yeah. So obviously Timo and I were both broadcasters and commentators, so we're both used to controlling everything ourselves. So it's a bit difficult to get used to one or the other. We're gonna go with Timo to start with, but then unfortunately, for some reason, he was dropping a lot of frames. So we've decided to go with mine for now. But
yeah.
But Timo,
the hardware letting me down.
Yeah.
but see, this is very good because that means if I have to, I can go and blow my nose because I am not too well. I am noticing that I'm not too healthy right now. But it should be fine. I'll make it through the rest of qualifying at least. We got like without an interruption. I'm staying, no worries.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got 6 minutes to go. Oh yeah.
Continue.
Sam is coming across the line. Currently is 5/10 off, and now is able to just about cut that in half to 0.28 seconds between him and Iligna, as Azalin is leaving the pits for his final run. And the interesting dynamic in all of this is, of course, that the rain is slowly getting light, as you can see in the top right in the weather forecast. We are headed towards a dry session. We're not going to reach that, of course, because there's only 5 minutes on the timer. But the lap times will get faster and faster towards the end of this, meaning that this 2-minute 3.0 from Iligna might not stand now. Scheibner in the Nissan comes across and he puts a 5th ahead of Jack Colley.
Another driver who I've been keeping an eye on during this quali run at the moment is Alexander Diakovsky. He's currently over a second up on his lap time on his Delta, so that will currently put him in right in front of or right behind Tommy Aslan if he's able to keep it up. He's got a few more corners to go in the final sector. We'll be able to see what he's able to do. I don't think he wants to get in the way of his teammate too much during this race, but the higher up he is, the more help he can be to Tommy, and I'm sure he'll love to help Tommy as much as he can during this race.
Yeah, for sure. Now, across the line, and it is a really, really good one, and it is ahead of Azalin, so P3 for Diakovsky for the time being. Azalin's going to hope that he'll be able to outrank his teammate. I don't know if they've got any team orders. I've never seen them work together. But maybe if it's the last race and the championship is literally on the line, it's going to be different. For that to matter, though, we would have to get closer to Iligna. Right now, he seems a little bit untouchable on top. He's currently going down the back straight and he's not up on his time yet, but there is plenty of room to improve that lap. And he doesn't really need to improve it as of now. Azalin 5/10 behind him.
Iligna coming into this final race with a point to prove. He's been behind Tommy Aslan in the standings the past few races. But a funny thing I've noticed, Tommy Aslan has always been on the podium this season. Dominic Iligna has only been on the podium when he's won the race.
Yep, it is. It truly is two different worlds. We've got the consistent guy and Dom.
And as the team manager of Asford Racing Team, we've had a few talks to him when he's bolted it, but you've been very happy when he's managed to get it home in P1. So we'll see how
I make sure to always focus on the negative. So he is so he feels the pressure. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should stop that actually because maybe he cracks under the pressure a little bit too often. Don't know. we'll figure out. He's got he's got time for 2 more timed laps in this session, and it looks like that was a solid start to the lap. We'll keep you updated on that one, but it is more important what Azalin does, and right now what Azalin does is not improve.
No, the team I've got
right,
for you. Have a
oh
look at the
god.
team
name. Well, I have been studying, and then I have been getting completely drunk in Berlin. So that's it, basically.
Well, there you go, Andrew. There's your answer. Timo has been focusing on other things in life.
Yes.
That's where he's been. But now he's back to look at your beautifully disgusting livery.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're happy to hear his voice again in the commentary box.
Yeah. Speaking of beautifully not just disgusting liveries, Sam is currently matching his own time coming through the final sector. I don't think he's finding any more. I don't think he's able to eke out any more time in that, or at least not enough to bridge the gap to Dom. But he starts his final run now. Don't think he's improving right now though.
He might improve by a little bit, but it's not going to jump him up into positions. He improves by 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
So minor changes there, but the rain is slowing down a little bit. He's got the tires up to temperature. He will probably also have the fuel, so this last one will be crucial for Sam. He said earlier he wasn't very quick at Ricard, but look at him. Here he is in P2.
Yeah, I can. I was witness to that. Him saying that he couldn't coach Antoine, or was it Jack?
I believe it was Jack Mills.
Okay, he couldn't coach Jack this time because he's not good at Paul Ricard, but. I mean, no offense to Jack, but like, he kind of is 2.2 seconds behind Sam right now. So maybe some coaching would have been possible, but Sam thought it better to sandbag, and he just got up 4/10 on his time. Maybe the track is just getting dry enough because those times might be tumbling soon. I've got plenty of green on my delta, which is why I'm getting a little bit excited here.
Yeah, this could be very interesting come the end of the quali session. See, Jack Hawley is currently 6/10 up on his lap time. Tommy Altilin is 6/10 up on his lap time. Dominic Illigner, crucially, is not on a positive delta yet, but he has only just started his race. Or his lap.
Yeah.
And, as you say, that Jack Hawley 0.002 behind Dominic Illigner.
Yeah, Dom is under late threat here. He looked pretty untouchable, but now everyone suddenly found heaps of time. Azalin, he just went through the double right of Le Bousseau, I think it's called, and he found half a second there. Now he's up 6/10 on his time, and now 7. That would be exactly what he needs to take the top spot here in qualifying. He comes across, and it is going to be provisional pole, I believe. No, it isn't. No, so the final corner was really bad from him, apparently. Lost 2/10 there. He's not able to match his championship rival. Illigner not up on his time right now either. Chumley up 6/10 now, and I think surely he's going to take pole unless he's maybe invalidated it. So our 2-time champion coming in clutch, putting it on pole. Where is Dom? He's down 2/10. I don't think this is happening. So he should start his attempt to defend his title from P2 here. Maybe there's going to be a complete surprise, but I don't think so. Antoine is up on his time by a bit, Feuerherd as well, and Schreibner too, but none of them close enough to the front spots. Illigner now final corner and down 3/10. So I think that's basically a wrap there. Antoine is up 5, so he's gonna threaten for the 3rd row, I guess.
Yeah, I believe so, and he could put himself in between Tommy Azalin and Diakowski, which would be a nice position for him to be. And he's got his right indicator on. I don't know if that's contributing to the French driving standards that I sometimes see with their indicators on. Oh, and he crosses the line just behind Schneider.
Yeah, so it is P8 for Antoine Olivier then.
Hold on 1 second.
What just happened?
Feuerherd, out of nowhere, improves his lap time by 1 second and 2/10, and puts himself in P5, splitting the 2 Aston Martins. That was impressive. That was out of nowhere. I did not expect that at all.
Absolutely. As I've been gone the last few races, I have not seen him drive yet. I don't know if this is the first time he's here or if it's or if he's driven races before. But that is really impressive. He does what Antoine couldn't, and splits the Aston Martins. The Aston Martins, who are looking to wrap up the constructors, unless Fast Forward do unspeakable things.
Yes.
So let's go for a little bit of a. Oh wait, never mind. We're not going for a grid walk. I can't even control the. Well, you're gonna need to do that.
We are going for a grid walk, Timo, but first we're gonna have a look at the beautiful French countryside around Paul Ricard, and then the abysmal blue and red line track right in the middle of that Paul Ricci area. But anyways,
man's flexing so hard right now.
Flexing on what?
Flexing on my lack of broadcasting software and experience.
Oh, it's
not experience.
Timo, everyone loves you, Timo. There is no flexing going on here. Just different styles.
Okay.
Anyways, feel free
just different styles. One is professional and the other one is mine. Anyways, we've got Sam Chumley taking pole for the final round. He truly can't drive Paul Ricard. Always trust what he says. Dominic Illigner, reigning champion, second in the standings, needs to finish ahead of Tommy Azelin to take the title, and he'll look to do exactly that. Then Jack Colley third, splits the two championship rivals. He will need to make sure he isn't under fire today. Then Tommy Azelin, championship leader, P4, has got a little bit of places he needs to gain. Feuerherd surprises late in the session with a P5. Then it is Diakowski, maybe able to do some rear gunning for his teammate who is fighting for the title, but we don't know. Then Ben Lewis, P7, ahead of the Nissan of, what's the first name? Björn? I think.
Oh, Björn. Yeah.
Björn. Scheibner, not Scheibner. P8 to him. Antoine Olivet at home in France. I don't know if he feels at home with Paul Ricard, though. He is in P9. Then Nico Veldman, who, I don't know, has had a bit of an off-season as far as I'm aware. He's in P10. Then Tomlin leads Silver Class today in P11 ahead of Jorge Prieto in the BMW on the left-hand side. Then Art van Geffen, second in class, 13th overall, heads Jack Mills. How many laps will Mills make it without an incident today? We will find out. It's gonna be exciting. Aidan Bailey is P15 ahead of Andrew Moulton in his I don't know. Pink Atrocity is Sam's car, and I don't have anything fitting for this. I'm just gonna just show it. It speaks for itself.
That says enough. Yeah.
Yes. Then we have I have no idea how to say that. Dubosch? I don't know.
I believe it's Dubosch. Yes.
Dubosch. The number 64 Mercedes is what George would say now. Ahead of Marvin Betch, and then rounding out the grid is Michael Renault, and I am going to go mute for like 1 minute during the formation lap because I can't breathe anymore. Give me a second.
While Timo deals with his asthma, I will continue talking about the track and the race we're about to see. So we have 19 drivers on the grid, and we have an interesting championship fight happening. Tommy Azelin in P4 against his championship rival in P2. Tommy's going to have a lot of work to do for himself to catch up to Dominic Illigner. As I said earlier in the stream, if you guys weren't here for that, there are a few differences between the points between Tommy Azelin and Dominic Illigner, but it's so minimal that it basically means whoever finishes ahead of the other driver, unless they're below P10, will win the championship. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that, and hopefully one of them will win it with a bang, and we'll have both of them driving side by side. Great ton of action, brilliant racecraft and all that stuff. Although it is raining and it is Paul Ricard, so last time that happened we had a huge accident down the back straight, and I don't want to see that again. Although it was quite entertaining. Mr. Antoine Olivet was the recipient of said accident, and he might have other ways of explaining the incident to you guys, but anyways, raining at Paul Ricard is never a bad thing. It's always produced good entertainment. It's a tricky track to drive in the dry. Yes, there is a long straight where you can sit back, relax, swipe Tinder, do whatever you want. But this long straight is followed by some very tricky corners, both before it and after it. And especially in the rain, I believe some of these drivers, I was talking to them earlier, they were talking about running a minimal rear wing and as little as possible to have a high speed down the straight so it's easier to overtake and defend. but they said we were having issues in the high-speed corners, keeping the car under control. And now, with the rain, I wonder if they've gone for a bit more of a safe setup, or if they've decided to say, you know what, last race of the season, got nothing to lose, well, apart from Tommy Aslan and Dominic Inigler, and maybe they've decided to go for minimal rear wing yet again.
I am back and so ready to accidentally repeat everything you said while it wasn't here. So first of all, let me tell you about those driver setup choices in the rain. The wings. Oh, okay.
Everyone in chat will be very happy to see you.
Is there even anyone in chat?
There is a Hixie, a Welsh Toast, and a Jack Colley so far, but there's other people watching, and I wonder if Tommy's dad is watching as well as Dominic Illigner's dad. I know they're like the number one supporters of their own sons, and
wait, are you memeing right now?
No.
What?
Every race, I know the dads are watching.
I feel like I'm getting trolled.
It doesn't matter because the race is about to start, Timo, and
it's fine.
Well, do you want to take it
over? Yeah, sure. We've got 2 corners to go into turn 1. It's gonna be interesting to see. Of course, as always, P2 gets the outside line for the first corner, no surprise there, which means Illigner needs he needs a better getaway on the green light than Sam if he wants a realistic chance. Of course, a bottle from the Brit could also help him get the job done. But we shall not hope that happens. That would be quite unfortunate. So now, also going to be interesting to see how Aslan approaches that, because of course one mistake, he could take Illigner right off the start, or maybe one mistake ruins his whole race right away. Final time of the season, we go green here at Paul Ricard, and it looks like a pretty even start head-to-head between the 2 Audis from the front row. I think Illigner slightly got his nose ahead, but the outside line is going to prove difficult for him. He's going to have to make it work on the brakes, but I think Sam was way later there, and behind them Jack Colley and Aslan are already fighting. Aslan's through the 44 right behind his championship rival. Now Aslan's going to come back. Now Jack Colley's going to come back at him into turn 3. The McLaren holding down the inside. Aslan braver on the brakes. Nice driving from him. He gets the spot right away. That was really crucial. While Sam Chumley is sitting in the face of Illigner, and he's going to back him off into his championship rival. So our 2 main protagonists for tonight are right where we want them, which means within a second of each other on the track, and hopefully ready to fight it out.
Yeah, it was a brilliant start there from Dominic Illigner. He got the jump on Sam Chumley, but unluckily he had the outside corner for the first turn, and he had to slot in behind Sam Chumley. Tommy Aslan also making as much as he can on Jack Colley sleeping at the start, taking around the outside, and then deciding to maintain his position. But here we go.
Dom sitting in his slipstream. I did not expect him to do anything, but he's gonna try it into the senior in the wet. Can you do it too wide? Dom's on the outside, and that's not gonna work out. Sam holds the line pretty well, squeezes him off the exit. Dom comes back onto the track. That was really close for off-track and collisions, but it's fine. But he can feel the pressure. You can see that Dom wants to escape. He feels like he's able to go faster than Sam, but he just needs to make the pass work. And Aslan, as a result of that failed attempt, right on his back and putting the heat on.
Yeah, that was very exciting racing there from Dominic Illigner, just in the slipstream. I did not expect the Audi to have such a big jump, and then also holding it around the outside. Brilliant racecraft from Sam Chumley as well, as I've seen quite a lot of accidents happen that way. So both drivers placing the cars perfectly, and Tommy Aslan trying to go on the inside already.
Early launch from him, and he spooks his rival, and now it's going to come down to who gets the better run out of the corner. But I think Illigner is going to be fine with the slipstream, though Aslan could challenge, and that has of course completely ruined any chance that Dom might have had of taking Sam into turn 1. How audacious is Aslan gonna be? He was a little bit off in qualifying, but now he seems to be right on it, and someone who's just missed the mark is Feuerherd in the number 14. McLaren in the background there, as he completely misses the turn 1 braking zone and drops, I think, 1 or 2 places to Jakowski. Maybe Schreibner? Can't see it right now. They're still fighting it out, actually. It's Schreibner and Feuerherd, and Schreibner's got it. No, Scheibner. My God. I need to get used to that name.
Björn Scheibner is the most, for some reason, the most difficult name for me to pronounce as well in this group. And been quite tricky all season long, but we're going to go back to the straight, and will Dominic Illigner have another attack as Sam Chumley? He's only 2 tenths behind the Audi in front of him. It's looking very close yet again. I think we might see a repeat of what happened last lap.
Yeah. There might be some aero difference, honestly. He's got such a straight line speed here, and this time he's got the inside. I don't think there's much Sam can do, and Azalin has to watch Terra as he's a second off this. He can't do anything, and I don't... Yeah, Sam is just a sitting duck. Now Dom needs to navigate Licinia, and I think... Oh, he's slower for sure. I think he's running less swing, but it is enough to hold on to this, and I have no idea how Sam's going to re-overtake him now. Azalin's... Well, it's... all in Dom's hands now. Needs to make sure he doesn't bottle this. We've seen him spin out of the lead before this season in a wedge race. Let's hope he doesn't do it again for his own sake.
Alright, we're just not going to commentator cursor just yet so far.
Oh, I definitely am.
There's yellow flags in the back.
Oh, the 14.
Number 14.
Fire ahead. Martin, fire ahead.
Points in the right direction. Let's try to find a replay of that one. So here we go.
Looking at the white and red McLaren, and I don't think you need much creativity to imagine what happened there. Just overcooks it in the wet, drops it sideways on the track. Oliver is able to avoid that. The two orange cars fly past as well, but he sensibly reverses off the racing line. Well, I mean, he made a big mistake, but at least he handled the aftermath well.
Now, Azalin with Ben Lowes as well. He's dropped down quite a few positions. He's trying to attack Andrew Moulton at the moment, trying to maybe go around the outside into turn 1, but Andrew Moulton has the inside corner, so he'll have the better line. Although it seems like Moulton's gone a little bit deep, so Ben Lowes could probably get a better exit here and maybe challenge it into turn 4. He's going to be on the outside. Let's jump on board with him to see how this looks like from his driver's perspective. It's always quite a good camera angle for this one to see how the driver's feeling in the cockpit, and still nothing happening just yet. Side-by-side action. Andrew Moulton will have the inside, Ben Lowes will have the overrun on the outside. Right behind him we have the Mercedes of Dubois also looking to get into the action. Ben Lowes will have to try and get the traction down here.
But we've got a 5-4 P2. I think we should probably go to that with the Aston Martin of Tommy Azalin doing as he saw earlier from Dominic Illigner, side by side with Chumley now, and it looks like Chumley is going to lose a second place in 2 laps, and the 2 championship rivals are off into the 2 leading places. So something's going wrong for Sam for sure. And also shout out to Andrew. He held that pretty well, but the overtake from Ben around the outside was really impressive.
It was indeed, and I'm just catching up in the chat. Apparently Ben had contact with Olive in lap 1, and Higgsy says it was Ben's fault. But wow, couldn't be any better. We have the 2 championship rivals, P1 and P2, currently. Whoever wins this wins the championship. That is absolutely brilliant. The only thing that reminds me of this race in recent times is Abu Dhabi, but this time around FIA will not meddle in the results, so hopefully we'll have a nice clean race all the way till the end.
You can't guarantee that. If I might meddle.
Might meddle with commentator curses.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a whole different beast, of course. But it's not a commentator's curse to say that Dom is definitely winning this, and there's absolutely no way he doesn't. Like, he can't be stopped. Of course he's gonna win a second title.
Alright, I will, let's keep this in mind. 53 minutes of the race remaining. Team will set this. So Dominic, if you want to know what went wrong, this is the time.
Yep. But I don't know if the commentator's curse works if you actually provoke it. I don't think so.
That's true. Maybe it's like the commentator's curse. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Curse the curse. So then it's...
Should I counter jinx by also saying that Azalin's gonna win? They're just both gonna win. Okay, there's literally no way Tommy doesn't completely annihilate Dom.
Yeah, I think you're talking too much now.
I hear that a lot.
Let's go back to this battle of 3 red BMWs.
Yep, that is for P12 with Aiden Bailey, Ben Lewis, and Ben Lewis gets an almighty run there on the silver class driver, and Jorge Prieto is looking to follow the other BMW through. Oh god, he's got double slipstream, and is he gonna make it 3 wide? We are getting a 3 wide moment here with the silver class driver Aiden Bailey and the 2 pro drivers, and Prieto looks like he's pulled it off on both, but now he's got the outside line into the senior with the 87 Ben Lewis breaking well, the latest on the break, and he pulls that one off. That would have been insane from Preto if he managed both. But this way, it's just Bailey dropping down 2 spots on one straight, and
It's not over yet.
He comes back on the track and makes contact with Ben. Ben does well to hold on, though. That was really spicy. I thought that was gonna end in tears, to be honest.
A little bit of rubbing is racing going on here as Ben goes a little bit deep into the corner after the long straights, and Pietro tries all he can to capitalize on this mistake from Ben, but Ben manages to keep it on track, and a little bit of a contact from Pietro, but they all stay in their own respective positions, and just as that happens, Aiden Bailey, what has happened there? Huge error from judgment from Aiden Bailey's side, and I believe we'll have a replay just late on the brakes into the back of Pietro. And it's very unfortunate for the silver champion, not the way he would have wanted his race to go.
Yeah, I mean, not much you can say about that. That's pretty much slam dunk. The car behind has to make sure that does not happen. And
yeah.
Well,
is it just me, or is Anton Olive still indicating to the right?
Wait, let me check. I'm actually not in the camera angle to be able to see it, so I don't know. But in any case, he's indicating that he's not happy staying behind Nico Veldman. Those two kind of in a bubble of their own. They are 3 seconds clear of, I think Joe is his name, Joe Tomlin in 9th, who is leading silver class. But they are also cleared by Jakowski up ahead. So, you know, they can have their little fight uninterrupted by anyone else, but maybe P7 and 8 is just gonna be their horizon for today. Don't know if they can get
a fight for P3 and silver class. Mills later on the brakes compared to Van Geffen, both of them in McLaren, so Jack Mills doing a brilliant defensive job there as out Van Geffen, who was slowly but surely catching up on that straight in that slipstream, but it was not able to capitalize on his overspeed, even though he had the inside corner. So great little bit of racing from these two drivers, and the podium positions in silver stays the same for now, but I do think this scrap will continue as it looks like Van Geffen has slightly more pace compared to Jack Mills at the moment.
How well has Mills been doing past races? Have there been many Mills no moments?
There's been a Mills no moment in every single race.
Oh, of course.
We even had Gareth Higgins step in for one race to commentate, and he lost his Mills no virginity while broadcasting.
Oh god. It just, I don't know, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Headaches, mainly.
And headache is a gift, I mean, you don't have to like it.
Wow, thanks! Someone else who's, well, I don't know if I would call it gifting a headache, but for the sake of the transition, I'll do it. Sam Chumley is, well, is having a headache right now because he can't seem to figure out how to go faster than the guys around him. The top 2 completely checked out from him, and now Jack Colley's pretty big in his mirror, and the McLaren is tucked into the slipstream, as we can see on board pretty nicely. And this straight is very long. You can drink a whole glass of water while on it. Though I would not recommend that if you plan on going side by side with someone else, as Chumley is trying to drive a very wide car there. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, with Jack alongside, and with the inside line, I think he's going to have a pretty easy time here. Sam holds on. Oh, he gets wrestled to the outside, pushed off track, has to rejoin, and the next one is a double right. So that is another position lost on the straight, unless he can come back here.
Sam Chumley on the inside, Jack Hawley leaves a bit of a door open there, and Sam says thank you, I'll try and take it, but it looks like Jack Hawley just got the overrun on the exit and does manage to make his overtake stick, and he is now up to P3. I don't believe he has a podium yet this season, or maybe I'm wrong, but he's definitely in very good point scoring positions at the moment. And
we've got another yellow, that is Mr. Marvin Betch, the 47 on the back. How do you, what? Good. How did that happen? He's just the most talented DRS driver.
He used all their talent there on the back straight, trying to keep that car under control.
I mean, surely that was intentional, right?
I hope so.
It would be less embarrassing.
he's going to have to explain himself a little bit, but someone who's going to do his explaining on track at the moment is Martin Firehead. After being involved in some sort of incidents at the beginning of the race, has found himself in last place, but he's going to try and make a move on Andrew Moulton up ahead to slowly but surely climb his way up the ladder to finish in the top 10, which I believe he should be able to do with his current pace at the moment. He's going to go for the inside corner into turn 1, and he makes the move as textbook as possible.
Yep. Nicely done, and the next one to keep an eye out for is another McLaren, or it's two in fact. It is Ad van Geffen, and or actually maybe those aren't the only ones. We've got Scheibner in the slipstream of Chumley. What is going on with Chumley? Is he just running super high wings, or why does he get swallowed every main straight? Now the Nissan down to his inside. This was the man on pole as a reminder, so it's definitely not that he's slow, but he just... Oh god, Scheibner, he completely overshot that. Well, I mean, if someone drives a corner like that, then Sam can get back at him, but apart from that, he seems to have a pretty hopeless time out there. And the two guys I was talking about initially, not as close as I thought they were going to be on the straight, Jack Mills and Ad van Geffen. Within half a second though, so should keep an eye out for them, make sure we don't miss the action. Yeah,
for sure. That's for B3 in the silver class. That's always good entertainment to watch. And I just reading the chat. You appear to have had a ratio from Welsh Toast, Timo.
A ratio?
He says a ratio, Timo. So I don't know how you're going to respond to that.
Wait, let me...
The response is just pure disbelief. But anyways, Björn Schneider still on the back of Sam Chumley. He's going to try and follow him a little bit closer this time around into the back straight. He's got the first sector to navigate, and it looks like Sam Chumley really struggling in these conditions. I don't think the higher rear wing is helping him at the moment. Maybe
oh god, I just unplugged my headphones.
Oh, Timo's just Timo time. What can I say?
Okay, I'm back. I'm asking everyone right now to assist me ratioing Welsh Toast in GT3 chat. Thank you for your help in advance. Back to the race though. Illigna is he's just fast, isn't he?
Yeah, Illigna at the moment seems to be about a second a lap faster than the rest of the field, give or take. And while that's happening, Björn Schneider has the overspeed on Sam Chumley, and he definitely will be ahead coming into the corner now. Will he make his braking zone, the right one? And it looks like he has slightly overshot, and Sam Chumley will be able to come back a little bit, but he's not close enough to capitalize on that minimal mistake that Schneider has. Schneider up to P4 now, and he's actually looking like he's very fast and on for a charge for the podium.
Yeah, it is quite impressive, and the gap with that Collie has is not, it's not that big. Björn definitely has a shot at that, as you say. He could go for a podium place.
He could indeed, and at the moment, we were talking about Illigna and his lap time. His last lap time was a 2:01.3. This time around, he's going to do a 2:01.4, so he's being very consistent at the moment. Tommy Aslan, on the other hand, last lap was a 2:02.4, and then he did 2:02.1. So he's losing quite a lot of time to Dominic Illigna, but I think Dominic Illigna, just looking at the lap times of all the other drivers in the grid, he's absolutely flying with pure confidence at the moment. It's reminiscent of Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen in the prime.
It is very reminiscent of a certain Abu Dhabi race, but yeah, as you said earlier, we can't guarantee the FIA won't change the outcome of the race, but right now it's looking very unlikely because there's no safety cars here. And I don't think there's anyone close to Illigna he could ram. Would be funny if that statement aged poorly, but I think they're fine.
There's always back markers, you know.
Hasn't he even done that before? I think he's like at Bathurst or something. He's completely murdered the back marker at some point and lost the race win. Or was it Paul Ricard?
I don't remember. I don't remember Dominic Illigna destroying a back marker. But
I definitely do.
Sam Chumley is trying to destroy the slipstream at the moment, but you can see he's really struggling. Yes. And right behind him, Alexander Diokovsky is gaining a lot more than he is.
Yeah, it ain't working. The Audi not looking too good on the straight, but the Aston Martin not looking too good in the corner as he completely misses the mark on that one. Maybe the overspeed he had from the slipstream was not calculated into his racing line. And Scheidner is really off the apex. I didn't even bother mentioning that because I thought it was completely clear, but that was a poor judgment from me as he. Oh god, as he almost adds his own poor judgment, sending that one, he puts himself alongside again. This is a pretty nice fight. That should never happen, but it is happening right now. Now the inside line is going to be for the green Nissan here. Can Sam swing it around the outside? Well, I mean, he swings it past the apex, that's for sure. Maybe with a lunge into the final corner. Nope. So Scheidner is able to defend that place. That was quite a costly fight, and it does not seem to be over yet with Sam tucked in and Scheidner with no slipstream of his own to defend with, though of course the Audi is slow on the straight, so he can't do anything.
Yeah, Diakowski looking to potentially make it 3 wide there into the first corner, but Sam Chumley just doesn't go for it, so looks like Diakowski also decides to back out. But this is a brilliant battle. All the drivers seem to be on pace with each other. The slipstream's helping everyone down the straight. Apart from Björn Schneider. But yeah, you're right, the straight line speed of the Audi is really costly at the moment to Sam Chumley. He's quite struggling more than he would be if he was running a setup like Dominic Illigman is, which I assume is less rear wing, because Dominic Illigman is a lot faster down the straight compared to Sam.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say big hype. Tommy gained 5/10 on Dom last lap, but I think he's completely gotten that back within the first half of this lap again. So I don't know, gonna struggle and try and hype this up. And now Diakowski is pulling himself towards the pink atrocity. Is not close enough there. So and he completely misses the apex again. Maybe he's got an allergy or something.
He's playing a little bit of cat and mouse with Sam Chumley at the moment, sort of maybe trying to show himself in the mirrors, but by doing so he's missed the apex.
Yeah, I think he's playing hide and seek with the racing line, but yeah.
Diakowski did not join this league to get so much slander, but anyways. Björn Schneider still ahead of Sam Chumley in P4, and this battle just continues to rage on.
Yep, and while it does that, the podium is slowly, well, the podium chances of all of those three are slowly getting slimmer and slimmer as Jack Colley driving uninterrupted, unobstructed by anyone else, and he's now built a gap of 2.7 seconds to this battle that we've paid so much attention to, and now we turn our eyes to Jack Mills, who has has not lost a place. He is he's under threat from Ben Lewis, making his way back up the order after that collision you mentioned earlier with Antoine that he had. And Antoine Treffen already fell victim to him. Right now, Ben is acting as sort of a buffer, but it's not nice if your buffer is just clearly faster than you. And Mills is experiencing that right now.
Yeah, it seems to be Mills would love for Ben Lewis to stay behind him at the moment, and he actually only has 2 seconds to catch up to Tomlin in front, so Jack Mills could potentially be on for a race win. But he first has to get Ben Lewis. I think Ben Lewis, if he overtakes down the straight, that's going to be best for both of them, as none of them will lose a lot of time. And then Jack Mills can slot in behind Ben Lewis, and maybe sometimes when you get lapped by a pro driver, you can sort of latch on behind them. And,
and so, that was some solid commentators cursing you just tried to do there. Though of course, he carried a lot of speed on that line, you gotta hand it to him, and now it's not possible for Ben to get any slipstreams, so that was clearly tactical. And they are running head to head down the straight, but you would think that Ben is able to keep that up. Yeah, I think Mills just slows down there. He doesn't want any of this, and
smoke.
Oh, he just lost so much time. Antoine Treffen is right up to his back. Also, Jack, if you're watching this back and you wonder when you got jinxed, 38 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. That's when Chris said you could win the race. So, I'm sorry you had to find out that way. Sam has lost another place to Diakowski.
Yeah,
so,
I just realized the overtake was happening while we were watching Ben Lewis and Jack Mills. So I had to prioritize one over the other, and if I'm lucky, maybe the replay will show what happened. Yes, we are. So here we go. I think it's just another standard slipstream down the straight. Aston Martin might be faster than the Audi, although he will have the outside for the corner, the Diakowski. But it looks like oh, okay, thank you, replay, very cool. But it looks like he got the run into the long right-hander and got past Sam Chomley in that sense.
Absolute snail straight line speed there.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how that, like, why that is happening or what his setup is and how much that helps him in the corners and stuff, if that was worth it at all. Because this is quite interesting, driver taking pole position and then dropping to P6 just on raw pace and getting overtaken all the time within the first 24 minutes of the actual race. That is curious, especially a driver of Sam's caliber. It's not like he's known for being a qualifying hero and then bad in the race or being super inconsistent. No, he's usually pretty. It's usually just pretty consistent in the races and miss. No!
Oh no! He's gonna drive through as well. Oh.
We saw that coming from a mile away.
I think we can get a collective Mills no in chat as well here on the replay as we see.
That was beautiful.
The back end of the McLaren kick out. He's not able to collect it. Mills no into the ball.
Oh God! It took 3 minutes for you to jinx him. Just 2 minutes. Okay, well.
That is a very significant F, and then on top of his worries, he's got to drive through now. As Firehead drives past Pietro to overtake him for position in Pro Class. Although I'm not quite sure it's done yet, as Pietro is coming back on him, under braking into the long right-hander, and it looks like he has the inside corner, so Firehead will have to be stuck around the outside, but that does allow him to get a better run and the inside corner for the next turn, and that he has made the move before the next turn is even there, so nice side-by-side action, and Firehead comes out ahead.
Yeah, the racing's been pretty damn good, especially considering that it is a rain race, but everyone's leaving plenty of space. Of course, we had the little bonk by wait, who was it? It was one of the red BMWs, not Ben. I think Aiden Bailey killed someone, and that is the only instance that comes to mind right now of murder in this one.
Yes, I think there might have also been an incident earlier on in the laps where we were watching the battle for the leads. So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, maybe. But it's been pretty good.
It's been really good, so to be honest. A lot of side-by-side action with the drivers giving each other enough respect and just enjoying the final race of the season, it seems.
And they've got 34 more minutes to enjoy, which also means that they might be going for the pits soon. Oh, we've got something brewing here. As we look off the rear wing of Joe Tomlin, he's got Ben Lewis in his mirrors, and that is quite a scary sight to have there, that big BMW now pulled out alongside. They're running side by side, coming towards the senior. Tomlin on a suboptimal line, but it is also the inside, so should be able to defend. No, he just eases off the throttle and decides he's gonna let Ben past. So.
It's smart driving from Tomlin. They're not in the same class, so it doesn't make much sense to battle Ben Lewis when you know he's faster, and potentially put yourself into a dangerous situation and also allow Art van Heffen to catch up. So it makes sense that Tomlin lets Ben pass there, but there's still a nice overtake by Ben, and he's really making up the positions he lost earlier on in the race.
I don't know if you've read it, but Hicksy said they've calculated that 13 minutes of the race is spent on the back straight alone, and that is just the quality content I need while I'm commentating. Thanks for that info. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, it would be atrocious if there was the chicane in the middle of the back straight. So I'm rather bored for like 10 seconds than have a racetrack where you can't overtake.
Yeah, exactly, and these GT3 cars, they only make the overtake after the chicane is on track anyway, so having the chicane there would completely reduce the overtaking maneuvers that these guys were having.
Also, being able to drink in the middle of the lap is nice, so...
Yeah, have a drink, go for a wee, put a brick on your pedals. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
It's about 50 seconds from the exit to the next corner, so if you're really quick, to be honest, you could also eat some food.
Oh, Ben! Oh no!
That is unfortunate. I saw also that the number 17 of Antoine Olive, who seems to have disappeared from the server, also got a drive-through earlier, and so did Jack Mills, who is still in the pit lane repairing his car. So another thing with Paul Ricard, track limits are quite difficult on this track. It's easy to overextend, especially in the fast right-hander in the wet. And it seems like Ben Lowes has fallen victim to this one halfway through the race.
You know what would be poetic? But also terrible, but also poetic, if Dom got a drive-through. Because that would be the most Dominic Illigner way to lose a championship.
What happened to Jack
Oh god, he's lost the podium places. He's been third and now he's fifth. So nice catch. I completely passed me by as well. Just like Schadler and Diakowski passed Collie by.
Alright, I wonder if he had a similar incident to Mills in the exit there with the back end kicking out the McLaren.
It's really easy to do. I've done the same thing in the same car before.
Oh, okay, so you have a first-hand experience.
Yeah, I mean it was 3 years, but it was in my crisis after I had won the least competitive season on Earth and was trying to find a new car I could drive. I was having fun in the McLaren.
Oh, I remember you were having an absolute shocker of a season in the McLaren and did not enjoy that.
Yeah, I remember vividly doing exactly what Mills did there in the exact same car, and then getting off the game fuming because I was terrible in every car except the Aston Martin. That was fun, but it's also been like 2.5 years. I'm almost over it.
Almost. Some people say you never get over your incidents like that, but it's good that you're moving on, Thibaut.
Yeah, they say time heals all wounds. The line.
But no, time doesn't heal the wounds. It just makes them minorly better.
Makes you forget about them.
I guess until someone mentions it again.
Yeah, until you see Jack Mills doing exactly the same thing 2.5 years on.
So basically, Jack Mills gives Thibaut PTSD.
Yeah, I mean, he does that no matter where he crashes, but this time was especially bad.
Yeah. Halfway of the race is completed in 10 seconds, and then we'll have half of it to go. Surprisingly, not that many people have been in the pits to serve the mandatory pit stop. It is a 25-second minimum pit stop where you can decide to change tires, or you can decide to leave your tires that you have on currently and save 5 seconds compared to your other competitors. We saw Tommy Azelin not pitting for wet tires in Laguna Seca, and that was a masterplan strategy for him. We also saw him gain a few positions to save his championship hopes last race, where he decided not to change his tires under the pit stop and gain a few positions by undercutting Sam Chumley, and Sam Chumley was not able to pass Tommy Azelin on track in Zolder. Will we see something similar today of a strategy masterclass between Dominic Illigner and Tommy Azelin that could maybe close the gap between the two drivers at the front?
I think the only masterclass we could that could help us in that regard is a Illigner bottle job box to stop.
That could also be a masterclass that could help us. It will definitely make this race a lot less interesting.
Well, it depends what you mean by bottle job.
I mean,
if he just misses his box by like a country mile, then you know.
Yeah, I think it costs around 7 seconds if you go in and miss your box.
I mean, that would be fun though, wouldn't it?
It would actually. Yeah. They are 7 seconds. Tommy Azelin is 7 seconds behind Dominic Illigner.
Yeah. Wait, I'm quickly writing a Steam DM. Wait.
While that's happening, Jack Colby is closely behind Alexander Diakowski, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move. With 4 tenths doesn't seem to be enough, and that Aston Martin is absolutely flying down the straight. Actually, the Aston Martin getting closer to the Nissan GT3 in front of him, but he still won't be able to make a move into the long right-hand corner of Senior that we're coming into now. Although it looks like the Nissan slightly outbreaks himself, but Diakowski does really well to keep himself right behind. This battle will continue, that's for sure. I'm very much looking forward to it. Schleifer actually goes a little bit deep, and that's going to allow Diakowski to open the door and go up the inside. And it's still side-by-side action, but the Nissan has got ahead of him the exit there of the corner, but Jack Colby is not done with his overtake attempts now, as he will try and get a better exit into the final few corners compared to Diakowski in front of him, but he's not able to do so just yet. Maybe a last corner dive from Jack Colby will see him go up into P4, but he decides to back out of it. And Diakowski doing a brilliant stuff to defend.
Oh, that was that was really bad. I think he got really deep, and now his run is terrible. Allows Giacolli alongside, but on the outside line. So I don't think it is enough. The McLaren though, giving his best, trying to pass the Aston Martin. I think Diakowski's just about fine, but that was really spicy. No, Giacolli is so brave on the brakes, and they touch. Both somehow hold on, and Giacolli even gains the position for now. Now with the better exit for Diakowski, but he's blocked by Jack, who holds onto the inside there. All while that is happening, Aiden Bailey gets a drive-through, so it's all kicking off here. Scheibner is running away while those two are tearing into each other for P4, and the podium, well, is getting more and more unreachable. Well, it's early to say that, but it's looking tough now for them. They just lost like 3 seconds on the Nissan, and they almost both went off, but kept it together. And now we've got Illigner out of the pits, and that is no stop-go 30 or anything, so he should be fine. I was worried.
Dominic Illigner also, he has a little bit of traffic ahead of him, but it's nothing of huge concern.
The 22.
Oh, actually, he's gotten rid of the traffic already. Never mind. So Dominic Illigner has free air to drive as fast as he needs to. I wonder if he's changed his tires or not. We'll see in a little bit of time when Tommy Aslan, I assume, will be pitting very, very shortly.
Yeah, we've lost another driver, I'm pretty sure. Aiden Bailey just caused a yellow flag on the start-finish straight. He probably binned it trying to go into the pit lane for his drive-through, and then just parked the car and back to the pits. So I think it's the evening done for him and the season as well. But he's silver champion, isn't he? So he'll get over it probably.
Yeah, his final championship that he's going to be racing for a very long time, and it's a good way to finish on a silver championship win.
I think we're gonna say it's a good way to finish on bottling and pit entry for a drive-through, but.
I mean, he bottled it in Suzuka pit entry. Do you remember that?
I don't. When was that?
I don't know if it was this season or last season. I'm not too sure. I can't remember. But if we had Suzuka this season, I think it was this season. But I
have atrocious memory of races I commented.
But he had a nice little excursion into the pit entrance and was blocking the whole pit entrance, doing an Austin Powers cosplay. The best he can. Anton saying, I'm very quiet compared to Timo.
Oh,
that is unfortunate.
That is no bueno.
That is no bueno indeed.
Ad van Geffen, in the meantime, after his rival committed suicide, has closed up a lot of space to Joe Tomlin for the silver class win. So I think we could get a showdown there between the 950 Audi of Tomlin and the 34 McLaren of Ad van Geffen, and that would be spicy indeed, getting a silver class fight on the track.
Yeah, if we can have a pro class fight and a silver class fight until the very end of the race, that would be a dream scenario at the moment, and we have 24 minutes left. I think it's slowly but surely it's unraveling this story. Dominic Illigner dominating so far. Has free air to race as hard as he needs to, but actually saying that, Ben Lowes is keeping up with Dominic Illigner. I've just realized he's not letting Dominic Illigner out of his sights.
Now I wonder if that says positive things about Ben or negative things about Dom, or both. Because his last lap was an outlap, it's not we're not really able to say anything about that yet. No, of course. Well, actually, I don't know. Are cold tires, like, is that a thing after the pit stop? It should be, right?
It is
but
a little
I don't know
bit.
if you change tires.
But in the wet, I think they heat up quicker. I mean, you also have to just get back into the rhythm and all that. So, but it's still, we've had one full lap now. Ben Lowes is still within a second of Dominic Illigner, but this could change very quickly once Dominic Illigner unlocks his pace. Or Ben Lowes is just absolutely flying at the moment. Well, looking at the last lap time of Ben Lowes is a 2:01.9, and the last lap time of Tommy Aslan was a 2:01.4. We know Dominic Illigner was also doing the 2:01s at the moment, so we'll
He's
see.
off it. Wait, is he on the Like, is he on the wrong tire or something? My delta is showing that he's like really slow right now. I don't know if that's bugged.
Yeah, that could be bugged to see. Ben Lowes does a 202 flat, and Dominic Illigner does a 2019.
Yeah, it was bugged. It told me he was like down 3 seconds or something. I mean, that couldn't have been. But, yeah, I mean, Azalin is gaining a little bit, but, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's not enough to cover that 6-second gap that there was by the time that Dominic Illigner went into the pit lane. And I think Dominic might have just kept on the same tires that he's had throughout the whole race at the moment. And I think that's also the right strategy, because the wet tires, they don't wear as much as the dry tires do. And they also come back up to temperature quicker compared to the dry tires. So I think it makes sense to save the 5 seconds in the pit stop and keep the same tires you've had from the start of the race until the end of the race. Not always the strategy to go for when it's dry, but in the wet, it's a bit of a different story.
Yep. And well, the question is, does Azalin do anything else? I wouldn't think so. I mean, you don't stretch a stint 40 minutes to then go for new tires. That seems silly to me. So probably gonna see the same out of him, though.
Yeah, potentially. Or maybe he's going for a bit of a last lap shootout sort of thing and pitting with a lap to go. Just hoping he can make the gap smaller and smaller while Dominic Illigner has to deal with Ben Lowes behind him.
What is spooky is the track limits. I don't know. I haven't driven this track in ages, but I think out of Licinia, which is the right-hander after the after the back straight, there is like these 3 bollard thingies on the outside on the runoff, and I think if you get outside of them and you don't slow considerably, you do get a warning. And I think I've just seen Illigner cut it close with them. I don't know if he got a warning, but I would guess he probably did, and that is something he needs to keep track of. I have Is that action we see between who's that, Preto and Dubois?
Yes, it is. And the BMW is gaining on the Mercedes down the straight. He's got a big overspeed into the senior, and Dubois just allows him to come through. A nice little overtake by Prietro, but he gets a little bit sideways on the exit, catches his car, keeps it pointing in the right direction. That is him up to P13. And you are correct about the track limits. You were saying, but one thing is, if you hit those bollards on the outside of the track, it's an instant track limit warning. There's no letting off the gas to potentially save it. If you hit those, you get a track limit warning.
And I think Dom just got one. Not just, but like last lap. And I think I told the same story in Hungary, but that used to be his thing, being terrible on track limits on the F1, where we did the season where we had the bet that he would never have more than 6 seconds of time penalties, and well, he failed halfway through, and then he got plenty of races where he had like 18 seconds and 21 seconds of time penalties, which means basically like 18 or 21 off tracks with the way it works in that game. So that was always his thing. In ACC, of course, it works very differently, but that's why I said earlier on it would be poetic if he was going to bottle it on track limits, but it would be the worst way to. I would hate to see it. I would absolutely hate it.
It would be a very gutting end to his season, but something that's very, very exciting at the moment. Tommy Azalin is in the pit lane, so he's decided to pit with 20 minutes of the race to go. Dominic Illigner is very close to the start-finish straight, and I do think him and Ben Lowes will be able to get Tommy Azalin. Oh, actually, there's a little bit of a back marker of Jack Mills in the way, but that's not going to be enough to hamper Dominic Illigner, as Tommy Azalin is still stationary in the pit lane. And
that is taking way too long.
Dominic Illigner
way too long. It's not even close. Yeah. I mean, what's going on? Oh my god, that gap is huge. My god, Illigner's pace was really not impressive towards the end there, I feel. Maybe I'm just underrating Ben, but I think Dom should have been faster there, potentially. But it's not even close with Azalin. He's just exiting turn 2 as Illigner is already setting up the final straight, the back straight here. So, yeah, absolutely no contest. I wonder if something went wrong for Assetto. I didn't really keep tabs on his lap times.
What it could be is he could have taken tires, and Dominic Illigner has not taken the tires.
That could, oh yeah, I mean that would be a very sick.
And in that
That would
case, it
actually
should
be a
be
very
around
sound answer.
should be around 12-13 second gap, and there it is. It's 11 seconds between Illigner and Tommy Aslan. So Tommy Aslan now has a huge task ahead of him if he's going to win this championship. 17 minutes ago, cleared his pit stop, but he is 11 seconds behind Dominic Illigner with new fresh set of tires. If he's 1 second a lap quicker, that's not enough to catch up to Illigner and overtake. So he's got a massive task ahead of him, and it's slowly but surely looking like Dominic Illigner is going to take this championship.
Yeah. I don't think he can do this, but I don't want to write him off. He's going to push like hell. There's literally nothing to lose. If he doesn't take maximum risk in every corner, then he's not gonna win it.
Oh.
Even if he does take maximum risk, he might not. And now we've got a fight between Collie and Scheibner here on the screen. Scheibner getting it a little bit sideways. Collie going the long side there as they go through the double right. Scheibner now to the inside. He's driving. I mean, he's driving combat line. There's no doubt about it. He's trying to set a move up, but not able to get past. Massive respect to the two, though. Keeping it clean once more. The drivers are really good about this spatial awareness, leaving each other space, running the alternative lines side by side through especially through the third sector here today. Is what I'm noticing, and I'm very delighted to see it.
Yeah, great side-by-side action between these two drivers, and it's not over yet as Scheibner gets a better exit compared to Jack Colley. He's going to have a run on him into turn 1. I think he's going to make the move even before they get to the corner. But will he be the last of the late breakers coming into the inside corner of turn 1? And yes, he will be. He gets his position and moves ahead of Jack Colley yet again into net, I want to say P3 at the moment of this race. And that would be his first podium of 2S, and it's been a very impressive journey watching Björn Schneiber in that Nissan GTR. It's not a competitive car compared to the other ones on track, but in the right hands it can still produce great results, and it's definitely in the right hands on this track today.
Yep, also Ben Loos, in the meantime, while I was dying of a sneeze attack, has passed Feuerhead for P11 here, still on his kind of recovery, but now he's got a massive gap ahead. 16 seconds to Art van Reffen. I think that is going to be a little bit too much, though he was able to go the leader's pace for a few laps there.
Well, it's quite a good recovery drive from Ben Loos, to be honest. He went from last place up to P11, so not the worst day from him in the office, especially proving to himself that he can do it. He's got great pace. He was keeping up with Dominic Illigner when Illigner was ahead, and I'm just trying to keep an eye on the lap times compared to Tommy Aslan and Dominic Illigner to see if the story is changing, and I don't think it is, to be honest. The deltas are pretty similar. The distance between two drivers are not changing too much. I think Dominic Illigner has this one in the bag.
I mean, if I had a compelling argument against it, I would desperately make it now, but it is looking really good for him. 14 minutes to go for the commentator's curse to come into effect. Will it happen or not? We are trying our best, as you can hear, but I'm low on confidence. Okay.
Yeah. Just something was happening between Reinoha and Ad van Heffen. I'm going to try to see if we can catch a replay of that. At the moment, so I saw Van Heffen gaining a lot on Reinoha, and it could be because Reinoha going off track there and rejoining, but spinning on the rejoin. Okay, that was very bizarre. But Ad van Heffen moves up to net P2 currently in silver class due to that incident from Reinoha.
And I think the guy. Wait, I've lost track. He's right. Joe Tomlin is the one he is. He's competing with, and Tomlin, just like Chumley, stays out a long time on those tires, and his team name is Big Brain Racing, so how could I ever doubt that decision?
Yeah, it could be the right strategy to go on, to be honest. Sam Chumley is definitely a fan of either undercuts or overcuts. He's not a fan of pitting when everyone else does. He has to be different from the crowd, but oftentimes it works out from him doing these overcuts or undercuts, and he was running behind Jack Colley, I believe, when him and Björn Schneiber went into the pit lane. He could potentially jump both of them and regain that podium position that he lost early on in the race.
Right, potentially stupid question, but wouldn't it be faster to pit sort of in the middle of the race because of fuel load? Like, because there's a fixed stoppage time of or stopping time of 25 seconds. Why wouldn't you like just refuel? Because if you go to the end, you basically start with a full tank and then you drive laps on really slow pace. Like, am I missing something? Wouldn't that just be slow?
I wouldn't quite say that, to be honest. I mean, in theory, yes, that works. That you fuel only for half the race, and then you have another half race of fuel left. Once you go into the pit lane, and I thought Jack Holly was going up the inside there of Björn Schneider.
Yes.
But decides to back out of it. But quite often these drivers, they like to overfuel so they can run 45 minutes of the race, just in case something happens and they need to overextend. Because you do run the risk of, if you only fuel for halfway through the race, you do run the risk of rain coming in the last half an hour, and then you still have to need to pit again.
That makes sense, yeah.
So a lot of people go on the safe side, or just fuel for the full race and swap for tires and leave it at that, as that's easier to maintain. But we've had a few people run out of fuel before because they've miscalculated it. But in theory, yes, it does make sense to fuel halfway to the race, pit at the halfway mark, and then you have half of the fuel left for the last bit of the race.
Yeah. Mauro Prieto, in the meantime, has picked up a drive-through penalty for track limits, so quite a few of those today. None from the top guys, though, and I hope it stays that way, as Illigner really cuts it close once more with the same bollards I mentioned earlier in the senior. And the time, the gap between him and Azalin is just not moving at all. 2 minutes 1.7 on the last time round for Illigner, 2 minutes 1.8 last time round for Tommy Azalin. So even if he's got fresh tires, Dominic's just driving better. There's no way around it. So I mean, he deserves this if he wins it. He's got 10 minutes to go, in which he can't afford to make a mistake. But he should. Well, he's not under much pressure, so should be able to hold on to this. I would think.
Yeah, Dominic Illigner has been a bit of an all or nothing this season long. He has 4 wins to his name. This could potentially be his 5th win to his name. Tommy Azalin has been Mr. Consistent on the podiums, and it's just in the final race where it's slowly but surely. I think if Dominic Illigner wins this race, he will win the championship by 1 point.
By my calculations?
I don't know if my calculations are correct.
I didn't run them.
But we're just gonna go with that, I think.
For the drama, yeah.
For the drama, yes. Because I believe there's 7 points between.
I thought it's 4.
Was it 4 or maybe?
I think it is 4. I think it's like 255 to 251. I don't know. You might be waffling. Oh wait, I'm not in control of the camera, so I can look it up. Oh, the freedom! Oh my god! Let me see.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. What is not brilliant is that I have to load the SimGrid website to check it out.
Oh no.
Nothing against SimGrid. It's just I keep searching for the standings chat, and I always forget that it's not gonna be there.
Oh, it is. Yeah, after every race, it's updated.
No. Yeah.
In the GT3 announcements.
Wait, what?
If you go to GT3 announcements, scroll up and click the SimGrid link. You have the standings.
Oh yeah. But I always keep searching the Discord channel that we used to have.
Oh yes, of course.
Anyways, I've got it up, and what did I say? I said 255 to 251. Well, I'm slightly waffling. It's 259 to 255. So it's 4 points gap. And Azalin is just about leading, but that is gonna change. Let's be honest. I mean, Chumley and Tomlin don't stand a chance to stay ahead here. They still haven't pitted yet, but well, okay. Tomlin has. Yeah. So ignore that. And then the points gap between P1 and 2 is of course 8 points, which would mean Illigner wins by 4.
Alright, so we're both waffling. Well, it's good to know. I mean, you were waffling earlier, I was waffling earlier as well. It's good to know we are on top of our game at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it comes down to whoever finishes ahead of the other is going to win. And Boyer had almost picking up a track limit warning there. I've been quite surprised. He's been keeping up with Ben Lowe's these past few laps after Ben Lowe's overtook him, and that's quite impressive so far. He's been close enough to potentially try and regain that position that he lost to Ben Lowe's, but it doesn't look like he's in an attacking position at the moment. to capitalize on regaining that spot.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but he is keeping up nicely. They are approaching Hainoa as well, who I would expect goes to the pits. Not now. Okay, just stays out. He's just enjoying driving in P10 for it.
Yeah, he's just doing what Alex Albon does best and pitting on the last lap of the race. As you see him right there, he might come into play because he's not entitled to give up the position, as it is for on track. Even though he's not pitted yet, it doesn't count as a vacuum marker. So Ben Lewis will have to fight his way through Renault properly, unless Renault decides to let them pass. So, yeah. But he's not entitled to do so.
Honestly, that is the silliness I want to see now. Him getting fully involved. Okay, yeah, I'm not.
Well, it wasn't so silly after all.
I'm not getting my way here.
We were hoping, but it
why don't? I mean, if you plan to drive completely off track and offline, why don't you just pit on that lap? Well, whatever. Doesn't really matter.
It's the final race of the season. He's not going to win the championship in silver, as that's already been won by Aiden Pale. I think he's just out there enjoying himself, which we cannot fault, as that is also a great way to do sim racing sometimes. Just relax, have a good time, and enjoy the long straight down for Ricard. Who else is enjoying it? Firehat with the slipstream goes to the outside of Ben Lowes. Will he make the corner and overtake him around the outside? Looks like he's got the overspeed on the run, but he's overcooked it and he's hit the track limit marker, and Ben Lowes stays ahead for now.
Yep, Apex's Lava Racing really coming in clutch with that one. Of course, you can't drive on the Apex if there's a BMW there, but still just goes a bit too deep in that one. And I mean, it's tough. You you practice driving that corner in ideal conditions in the dry when there's no car on your inside, so adjusting to that on the fly is gonna be quite tough. So I'm not judging him too harshly for messing that one up. Giacondi and Scheidler are also not done with fighting over what's that that's going to be P4.
Wait, how's Diakovsky?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of that either. I was going to ask if I'm.
I think maybe the overcut in the pit lane, because Diakovsky did pit later than these two, and these two have been fighting so hard they've been probably losing quite a lot of time with each other. So Diakovsky has put himself up into net P3 at the moment. So that's going to be a P2 and a P3 for the Golf AMR Racing team of Tommy Aslan and Diakovsky at the moment. So they will win the Constructors' Championship if it stands as it does.
Yeah.
But I do think it's going to be a bit bittersweet as they'll win the Constructors, but Dominic Illigner is currently still 11 seconds ahead of Tommy Aslan. They're matching pace at the moment, but that's not enough for Tommy Aslan to catch up.
It is truly the Mercedes 2021 experience. Though of course, roles are kind of reversed here. If it was the Mercedes experience, then
we would have a safety car now.
Yes, exactly.
But luckily, we as a small community are less rigged than the biggest racing body in the world. So
yes,
there is something to play for.
I don't have the camera, so I can quickly log in a Mercedes GT3 and do some laps. Wait a second.
Timo's safety car coming in as a curveball for the last bit of the race. We'll have the final lap start behind the safety car. Tommy Aslan right up behind Dominic Illigner. Let's see it happen.
Yeah, exactly. And Tommy Aslan will be allowed to lap the safety to pass the safety car. Dom won't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Impartial.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways,
he's just coping at the moment because he really hopes that his driver of Dominic Illigner will win, and he's not believing it until he crosses the line. But so far so good, it seems, for Dominic Illigner. He's been very dominating today. Had a brilliant drive throughout the whole season, basically winning every race there's only 3 races where he's not won, and a couple of them have been because he's been involved in incidents, and one of them was because of a poor pit stop call, and that's the only mistake he's done throughout this season. To win 5 out of 8 races is also complete dominance. Tommy Aslan has been on the podium every single race, so Mr. Consistent. I would say he has had the best pace overall, but Dominic Illigner has had the fastest pace throughout the whole season, and it makes sense that the reigning champion decides to defend his title in such dominating fashion.
Yeah, he's gonna add himself onto the list of many two-time champions in 2S.
At the list of one person.
No?
Oh,
What?
Jack Colley!
Oh no!
Ah,
It's not
and
a
the
list
day
of one
gets
person.
worse for Jack Colley and the Yorkshire Tea. You can basically hear him inside the cockpit just the sigh of disappointment. Although at this point, I think he could still complete the race and just take the penalty at the end of the race. I don't know what's quicker, the drive-through. I think he'll serve the drive-through though. It's not going to cost him too much. It's only really going to be Nico Veldman that gets out in front of him. So Nico Veldman gets himself up to P6 after Jack Colley serves his drive-through. But that is an unfortunate end to the race for Jack Colley.
Despite representing Yorkshire Tea, he is still a bottle job.
Yeah, but that's because tea goes in cups.
That was the joke, yes. that was kind of what I was going for there. Okay. Thank you very much.
Anyways, Sam Chumley has yet to pit, and he's definitely gonna go for a last. It's even gonna pit.
Wait, can he? No, okay. I was gonna say something very stupid. I'm glad I held myself back.
Oh, I'm kind of intrigued. What was Timo about to say?
I would. Oh, it's dumb. Like whether he could. I was concerned whether he could like extend the race time. So sort of by not like giving us an extra lap by not pitting, and then people run out of fuel or something. But that does not make any sense. I just yeah.
Would be quite funny. There's a bit of a battle going on though. Jack Colley right behind Joe Tomlin as he comes out of the pit lane, and right behind him is Ad van Geffen. So this is really poor timing for Ad van Geffen as he was catching up to the P1 in silver, but now he's got a big giant McLaren of Yorkshire Tea in front of him. And he won't be able to make the move he was hoping to do down the straight.
Yep, now, well, Colley might make the move, which is ultimately meaningless. Sam has gone for the pits, of course. And there goes Jack to the inside, recovering from his drive-through potentially. Tomlin knows he just needs to keep it together and make sure he does not lose enough time for Ad van Geffen to get right on his back, and then he should be able to win this silver class race. And he brakes pretty conservatively, holds on nicely, though goes to the apex, and might even be able to get back at the McLaren, but no. And Ad van Geffen is right at his back. It's not going to be enough, though. I think there's a lap after this one, so maybe on that... Oh, never mind! Ad has just completely... has sprinted it. He's half spun through the double right-hander, and I think that basically ends his ambitions of winning that silver class race. Makes a mistake at the crucial point.
Yeah, you just saw in the mirrors there briefly that he spun, but unfortunate end for Ad van Geffen. He still has 2 seconds gap, so it's not over till the fat lady sings, but it's pretty hard to gain 2 seconds and overtake in one lap when Joe Tomlin is racing such a great lap. First race of 2S, and what a way to do it by winning silver class, if he does win in the end. I think he will. But anyways, speaking of winners, Dominic Illigner only has half a lap to go to win this race, and more importantly, wrap up the title in his name to be a 2-time 2S champion. He's been a Constructors champion many times. I think, how many Constructors have Fast Forward Racing won? 3?
Oh, I have no clue. But they have been a force. I don't think they're going to repeat... Well, I'm sure they're not going to compete that... God damn it. They're not going to be able to add on to that this time. The Constructors is not going to be theirs, but I think he couldn't care less as he goes through the final sector for the last time with an absolutely commanding performance. Every single race he's been on the podium, so basically every race where nothing has gone wrong, he's been on the top step, certainly the class of the field here in the Audi, and he's gonna add himself onto a list of 2-time champions. Dominic Illigner comes across for the final time in Season 11 and is a 2-time 2S ACC champion. Congratulations. Brilliant drive from him today. Absolutely nothing Tommy Azelin could do to stop him. He tried really hard, but in the end it did not pay off. 11 seconds a gap on the line. He comes second. At least he gets a Constructors title for consolation, though I think he's not going to be too bothered about that. Then Jakowski the final step of the podium in third. Scheidner in the Nissan. Puts it on fourth. I'd be interested to see what he does in an actually competitive car if the Nissan is as bad as I think it is. I'm not quite sure. Then Sam Chumley, the sitting duck of the day, pole to P5 speedrun for him. Then Nico Veldman. I hope he shows up again next season. He was kind of invisible this time. We know he is absolutely capable. I mean, he's beaten our newly crowned two-time champion in straight fights before. We know he can do it. I just want him to show it next time. Jack Colley, P7, the drive-through towards the end definitely ruined a lot of things there. Joe Tomlin wins Silver Class and debut, then Alfred Treffen. Ben Lewis rounds out the top 10. Feuerherd with that stop go. Well, he's got a 30-second penalty. I don't quite know why, but he's 11th. Peter, Flubosch, Dalton, Renault, Milsno, and Aiden Bailey. Well, he doesn't finish.
Here come the donuts that everyone so loves to do at the end of the season. So you have the fast forward racing guys lining up to give each other a nice little kiss. The massive donuts happening all around the track here at Paul Ricard. A nice little corn beat almost happening. Here we have Tommy Aslin. Let's not forget, he's had a brilliant season. Mr. Consistent. Has won a race as well. Always been on the podium. Finishes P2 in the last race. And sadly, that's also where he finishes in the championship. He's put Dominic Illigner in his boots sometimes, quivering. But at the end, Dominic Illigner was able to show just why he deserves a second championship here at 2S. What a season it has been. Thank you everyone who has been watching this season. We've got exciting news coming out very soon about season 12, which will happen, and also some exciting news of potential one-off races that will happen also very shortly. Timo, do you have any last words to say?
Thanks to all the drivers, of course, as usual, but especially you for holding it down while I was busy dealing with my real life obligations of getting hammered in Berlin. So thanks a lot for that, and it's been a pleasure. Thanks everyone for watching, for being active in chat, and hope to see you again next season. Goodbye.
Thank you everyone. Goodbye.